Good morning, everybody. Thought I'd do a quick video this morning. I see my my friend Ashley's here, ready to say hey. Ain't seen you in a while, Ashley. There's a link in the chat. Come on in whenever you're ready. We hadn't talked in a while. We just been missing, I guess. So it's hot. I don't know where y'all are, but it's hot. Man, it's hot. Living here in Southeast Texas, they're known, especially during the summertime, for plenty of rain. Man, we ain't had no rain in a while. When back July 4th, when we went out to Arkansas to see Maddie and the girls, when we got home, oh my God, my yard was so deep. It was so thick. Oh, it was terrible. It was terrible. I called a company to come help me get it cleaned up. It got so thick. And it all needed weed eated and mowed, and man, I just can't weed eat this whole big old property. So I had to get help to do it. And since that day, it rained one time, and that was Thursday. That's so funny. Thursday, Alex calls or texts me, says, "Dad, I volunteered the truck later today to go pick up some supplies." She's volunteering at the community theater. And so, okay. So she comes home and we take off. It's here in Orange. It's not very far from us. And I'm driving along and she says, "Hey, is there any rain in the forecast?" And I said, "Not that I know of. I don't think so." And I said, "I know it hasn't rained in forever around here." I said, "And that's really strange." I said, "Because with the ocean being 3 miles over there, like Florida, and down on, Corpus Christi, all the coastal Gulf towns here in Texas, yeah, every day you get a little shower, just about. It's not a huge rain, just you get a shower." And about that time, we're talking about it, it starts raining. We're going down I-10, going 75 miles an hour, and it starts raining on us. We exit, and it keeps raining on us. And we get over to where we're going, and it rains straight down the whole time. We're loading this stuff in the back of the truck. And I'm like, "Oh, did we sit here and wait? Or, geez, what are we going to do? I guess, jump out and load this shit in the rain." I was soaking wet. Get in the truck, start to back, drive off, and it quit. It just quit. And I just got home. We drove, headed home. And it had only rained. It looked like about a 2 mile radius. Got up on the interstate and took off, and there wasn't no water on the road anywhere. It was crazy. And then some storms blew through, but they were so fast. Done. What was that? I hope my audio is okay. Somebody tell me if it ain't. But oh, there's Ashley. That's what it was. I heard boom. Good morning, princess.
Hold on. I think I have to exit out of. Okay, whoa, where'd you go? Where'd
Why?
you go, dude?
I'm right here. I can hear you real good.
Yeah, and can you still see me?
Yeah. As a
Oh,
matter of fact,
oh,
I
there
need
it
to
is.
turn it down a bit.
No, that's not it. Oh, I'm gonna have to redo it. I'm gonna have to exit out, or I don't even know how to exit out of you. I don't even see you. You ain't even on here.
I'm right here. Trust me. I'm right here. I see you all kinds of good.
Okay, all right. Can you exit me out of
Yeah. I'll dump your butt.
there? Thanks.
If I can see. There you go. And then I'll pick you back up.
Okay. Now I gotta figure out how to get.
You don't see me.
No, it's not that I don't see you. Well, I mean, if you can hear me, I guess all is well.
I hear you fine. You're wearing, what is that, red or an orange jacket? What color is that shirt? Is that orange or red from here?
It's got, my robe is red.
Red, whatever, robe, I can't tell. So how have you been?
Dude, I can't do this. I can't do it because I have like this freaking 20-second delay.
Do you really?
Just like exit me out of there. I got this. Like cut me off.
You think?
Cut me
Well,
down.
okay. All right, there you go, Ashley. And she's back. Let's see if this will work. And you're back.
Hey,
Have you got it working?
I do. I do.
Do
I
you?
think I've figured out how to do this. There you are.
She's a high tech redneck.
Redneck.
Tell me
Man.
I can't figure this computy stuff out.
Freaking A. Yeah. Dude, it is hotter than hellfire. Oh my gosh, it has been so freaking hot around here. Dude, I mean, you look like you just took a bath in all your clothes. I mean,
Right.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been up over 100 almost every single day here.
Yeah, something like that here.
Yeah,
It
we ain't
sure
had.
is.
I don't think we've had a day under 100 for about 2 weeks.
And no wind.
And out here it's so humid.
Yeah.
When you walk out, it's just like God, that's miserable.
Yeah,
My
Texas.
dogs, man, they don't even like to go out and use the bathroom.
Yeah. Splash. He barks at the porch. He sits and barks, wanting to come back in the
Well,
house.
going out the patio and stuff for most of the day, past about 11 o'clock. There's sun on the deck, and for long it's so hot you can't walk on it. You know, and open the door and let the dogs out, and they're like, "Whoa, they're gone, man." And there's bricks. There's a row of bricks right in front of the door, a little step up.
Yeah.
And they'll scratch on it, and they're standing on those bricks sideways. They ain't gonna stand down there on the deck. It's so hot. They're standing up on those bricks. Going, oh man, open the door right here.
Oh,
man.
little guys.
Okay. So check out these vape pens I got. I got 3 different kinds here.
Yeah.
This one's really cool. This one's got one side is indica and the other side is sativa. And you can swap it over. Do that one, do this one. I've never seen those.
What they come up with next.
Right. But they taste terrible.
Do they?
They're awful. Yes, they taste terrible. And they say they got these flavors, mango, strawberry, they got, lemonade burst. They got supposed to have these flavors and they're awful.
Yeah. No, man. Them flavors. And what are they artificial? I mean, and on the package, I'm sure it says artificially flavored. What are they flavored with,
Right. So I was kicking flour down for a while, put it aside.
Kicking flour. Oh, kicking the flour for a minute.
Yep. And I quit dipping snuff.
You did?
Yep.
Look at you. Man, you should get a cookie.
I should. But still, every single day, I want some. I think about it.
Oh.
Man, it's hard.
Still working on that.
Yeah, especially after I eat.
Yeah.
As soon as I'm done eating, man, I've reached for my pocket many times. No, I ain't got any. Don't reach for your pocket. You ain't got that. And the anxiety's getting better. It's getting better.
Well, I called my friend the other day and she was freaking high in attitude, like not with me. Like you could just tell, I could tell that she just, and she's like, she had already been telling me she quit vaping. And she was like, it has been the hardest thing to freaking stop, not weed vaping,
Right.
like,
Just regular
and
nicotine.
she's like, it has been the hardest thing to quit vaping. And I was like, dude, like, I could see it being a hard thing to do, and she quit and she said, I threw them all away. And she was like, and then I went and bought more. And she said, and she said, and now I've thrown them all away again. And she's like, and I'm 2 days off of them, bless her soul. It's a
Well, I
child.
buy these disposables because those little pens, you can buy those reusable pens. They're $50, 30 to $50. And you have to give them charged, and you just buy the cartridges. My boy says he's got cartridges or the disposables. Well, like you said, she threw all of her stuff away. She threw her pens away. She threw all that shit away, and then she had to go buy new ones, and they're not cheap. And it's like these disposables. When I'm done, I'm done. I don't have to worry about charging my pen up, because I've had those pens before when they first came out, and those things were expensive. I was like,
Yeah.
heck, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got one of the pens that, you screw the little cartridge on and
Right.
you charge, but I don't smoke. I mean, you would think that I would take it to the job site and that would be what I smoke, but no, I take my bowl and that's what I smoke.
Right. Yeah, when I'm done with these vape pens, I'm done with that stuff. It
Yeah,
just
you like the flower.
yeah. It's just so nasty. It tastes bad.
Yeah.
And I'd love to pre-test them, but they ain't gonna let me pull on each one of them and pick which one I like.
No. Heck no. Yeah. That's what they're gonna do. Yeah, with the whole pandemic and whatnot. Yep. They're gonna let somebody come and test them all out, Tommy. They know you're safe.
That's that. See, that's coming again.
Well, I think that listening to the World Economic Forum, I do believe that after like they had months ago, they had like all these get-togethers, on talking about like the coming next crisis. We have to be ready if a next crisis comes. If a next crisis comes, big word if.
Right.
So they're sitting there and they're spending so much time, hours
Now hold on.
together talking about.
Hold on right there. Are you sure they said if? Because they've been saying when.
Oh, they might have said when. They might have said
Or
when.
up till now, they've been saying we've got to be prepared for when.
When
Yeah.
the next
Not if.
comes. No, you're right.
And when the next one comes,
You're right.
we've got to be ready.
Yeah. No, you're probably right. Yeah. No, because they're coming. It's coming. Whatever it is.
California and a few places have already started their mask mandates again.
Mm-hmm.
They've already started.
They didn't start mask mandates around here, but we're seeing people wear them. I'm seeing them
Just
hang up on the mirrors again.
You notice that? Just the mere suggestion of it has people going, "Whoop, put my mask back on."
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, dude.
Danger.
Danger, Will Robinson. Danger.
It's everywhere. The germs are everywhere. Can't get away. Help. CDC, help me.
CDC, the experts.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
On this political subject, have you got to listen to and watch the Indian guy Vivek Ramaswamy?
What'd you call me?
I called you Vivek Ramaswamy. Have you seen that guy?
No.
He hadn't. He's running for president, and he's Indian guy.
What? No.
Yeah, he's like 38, and that dude is the only one I've ever heard say, "You let me president, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna get rid of the FBI,
Oh.
the CDC, the FDA, Department of Education, the DEA. I'm gonna completely clean out DOJ, and he's just gonna eliminate all these things."
Oh.
And people are like, well, and this is the thing. They said, well, Trump was going to do that. He was going to drain the swamp, and he couldn't. And he said, this guy is a lawyer, a constitutional scholar, and he said, oh no, Trump went about it wrong. He said, I want to fire this guy and that guy and that guy. And they said, you can't do that because they have civil service employment protections. You can't just fire them. But you can completely lay off the whole department. You can just lay everybody off. Hand them their slip. Say, we'll call you if we need you.
They figured it out.
Nobody can say nothing. I love it. He won't ever get elected. And the bad thing is he says, I won't be Trump's vice president. He says, I'm not a number 2. I'm a number 1 guy. He says, I'm not going to do it. And so many people are going, dude, come on. It's 4 years. 4 years of being number 2. And then let's go. Don't be like that. Because he's a smart guy. And everybody that's attacked him, he just, man, he can fire right back. And he stays cool, really articulate, really smart. And it's funny, the whole time he's been defending Trump. He's been like, I got nothing against the guy. They're treating him bad.
Yeah.
Treating him real bad. I don't believe for a minute he's guilty of any of those. I've read the indictments. It's all bull. But you hadn't seen Vivek?
No. You say Vivek?
Yeah, Vivek. Vivek Ramaswamy. He's American born. He's born here, first generation Indian kid, multi-billionaire.
Ramaswamy.
He's multi-billionaire. Started a couple of pharmaceutical companies, invented a couple of products, and sold them. And now he's running. Everybody's got some baggage. The only baggage they've been able to try to nail him down on was back when he went to law school. He got a grant from a foundation that was run by George Soros's brother. And so people are going, you're owned by George Soros. That was back in like 2011, 2010 when he went to law school. And so, I mean, what do you say? What do you do? He took a scholarship, and they're like, he didn't need the money. He was worth millions by that time. Why do you take the money? And I said, because like any businessman will tell you, you always take free money. They're going to give you free money and you don't have to pay it back. You take it.
Right.
You take it. Right. It was $90,000.
Yeah.
They paid him to go to college. Who goes, nah.
Right.
I'll spend my own money. Nobody's going to do that, even if you're a millionaire.
Right.
Plus, it's from this prestigious foundation. But he said he went back and told them, don't use my name. I didn't give you permission to use my name. Don't use my name in your ads. Don't use my name for anything. That was almost, 12, 15 years ago.
Dude.
So that's about the only baggage they could catch him on. And, he believes 9/11 was some kind of conspiracy theory. Something ain't right. And they've tried to jump him on that. So you think the government pulled off 9/11? He says, I didn't say that. I just know the government didn't tell us the whole truth. We know they lied to us. Even the 9/11 report tells us that they lied. But it's just, it's just crazy.
Dude, I just look at him, I looked at him 2.5 seconds. I seen pictures of his family, 2.5 seconds. They say he's an American. Okay, he might have been born in America, but he is not American. He definitely is, from those
he's
countries,
Hindu.
the Eastern countries.
He's a Hindu.
Yeah, you're right. Right.
He's
So
English.
my thing is, okay, so this ninja, all right, because the World Economic Forum, they're always talking about we need to bring the governments together, everybody needs to come together and quit fighting and whatnot. And we just need to resolve this together, all nations. Okay. So what if they put this ninja in presidency just for him to get rid of CIA, the big corporations, so that they can implement the new world, like everyone coming together, man, because it's
And
coming.
I say, because he's saying, I don't want nothing to do with Europe. If it's not in America's best interest, I don't want to deal with you. I ain't gonna give you no money. I don't need to trade with you. I don't need nothing from you.
Mm-hmm.
Pull all
That's
that
what he's
shit out of
saying.
Ukraine. No more of that bullshit. Close our bases. Close the bases around the world. Bring Americans home. It's over. We don't need to do that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
We're done. He's saying all the right things.
He might
He's,
be saying them.
he's talking about tax reform. Get rid of that crap.
Mm-hmm.
Get rid of regulation. Get rid of all the encumbrance that the government has built up over the years. This guy's hey, why are you starting to be cynical now? You've bought everything the liar set up to now. And then somebody comes out and then people are like, yeah, he's a plant. He could be a foreign agent, man. Well, they said Trump was a foreign agent, right? Remember? Trump
Yeah.
was Putin's puppet.
Yeah.
That's what he was, Putin's puppet.
Right. Yeah, we ain't crazy.
In this world where you can trust very little,
Very little.
it's hard to know what's real and what's Memorex.
Question everything.
Hey, you get a guy, this dude, I've seen him on, that dude he's been on every podcast you can imagine. He's been on everybody's. And he says the same thing every time. And when people try to gotcha and him, he's got sharp, good answer to, no, you're wrong. And I'll tell you why you're wrong. I don't play that game. We ain't doing that.
Yeah.
Type of stuff. You look him up. He's got a 10 points deal. First thing he said is God is real, is the first thing.
God, not Jesus.
God.
We didn't say nothing about Jesus. We just said God.
Well, in his explanation of Hinduism, and he has a good line. And they said it about Trump when they jumped on Trump about his religion, is we're not electing a pastor in chief. We really aren't. We need an administrator to go in there and clean this mess up. Now, if he's got faith, that's great. But I want a guy to go in there and clean this crap up.
Our God in the Word of God tells us to take good counsel. We're supposed to take counsel from the ones that have rule over our soul. These are the ones that we're to listen to.
I agree.
We have watch over our soul, which means that they pray to Jesus. They talk to Jesus about their people. So if we got a president that in a country that supposedly founded this nation upon God, which is our Jesus, is supposed to be our Jesus, the Word of God, and then we put a president in there that doesn't really even look at our God as the God that runs all things. To me, I think it's double-minded. It makes no sense. No sense.
Tell me which president in our past has fulfilled that vision you just
None of them.
Which one?
None. I feel.
You just insisted it's a must.
It must. That's why I don't listen to none of them. That's why I don't call myself an American. I am not an American.
At least this guy says Christianity believes in Jesus Christ as your savior, and he's God. He knows the Bible. He understands Christianity. He says in Hindu, we're basically the same. It says we say God's inside of everyone. Y'all say God's inside of me. Kind of semantics. And he talks about God being center of the family. God being, first and foremost. We can't do it without God. And it's like Jordan Peterson says, whether he believes in God or not, he's at least living like it's real. His life reflects it. He
Well,
doesn't
when you're
have,
an actor in a movie,
you know, he
you're
doesn't,
gonna play it.
but he
You're
doesn't
gonna
have prostitutes in his background. He doesn't have all these crazy, you know, cover ups. He's not having to hide anything. You know, all these he put his income taxes out right away. I mean, you can be as skeptical as you want,
Well,
but
I'm just saying they can tell us anything they want. They can show us a bank account of somebody's bank account and say it's this person's and it ain't. So
right.
I mean, the ninja can have all this wonderful stuff, but
So
we
now all of
really
a
know that
sudden,
it's him.
now all of a sudden, you think America's going to be discerning and go,
No,
"Hmm, no,
no, I did not say that all of a sudden.
he's
No, you
not.
put words in my mouth.
We're not going to have that. He's not a Christian." Well, everybody knew. Now the other ones were Christians either. They just mouthed it. They all just said they were.
Well, you're talking to a person that hasn't voted probably my whole life. I don't even know if I've ever voted once.
Then why are you complaining? You know the rule. You know the rules. You don't vote, you don't get to complain.
Don't you come out here barking. Hold on. I'm so sorry. Hold on. Don't you come out here barking. Sit. I mean it. Don't you be barking at nothing. Right. Man, he gets up there and he starts out, he goes straight for the field, starts barking at it like there's something out there. I'm telling
There is
Jason
something.
and I think that he tells us that that there's aliens and demons, aliens, both of them are the same out there in the field.
No, if he's like my dogs, he runs to the left and barks and he's saying, all clear to the left. Then he goes to the center, all clear to the center, and then goes to the right, all clear to the right. Wait a minute, I may see something. Do I see something? I may see something. Do I see? No, there's nothing. I mean, it is. Perimeter is clear. Everybody's safe. That's what
Dude,
he's doing. He's guarding.
he's doing a fine job. That's hilarious. I have not thought of it that way. Not
He's
at all.
doing guarding, man. That's what he
Yeah.
does. I
Yeah.
let my 6 dogs out this back patio, and they spread in 6 different directions, and everybody's going, kill it, kill it. If it moves, kill it. Move it, kill it, move it, kill it, kill it. And then they stop and look around and go, damn, there's nothing to kill. It's all cool, Dad. We got it. Nothing to kill.
All clear.
All clear here, Dad. Safe again.
Oh my goodness.
They do. When we go out in the daylight, Fred's the funniest. To the right over here, our neighbors have a bunch of raccoons that live under one of their decks, one of their
Oh yeah.
buildings, and they got some big ones, some big suckers, man. And Fred, probably 3 months ago, first time we ever saw him. Now Fred, every time he runs out the door, he's looking that way and he's just waiting until I open that gate, man, and he's gone.
We go get him.
Oh my God, yeah. That first time we saw him, it was a big raccoon too, man. And the first one to see it was Fred, and Fred was like, blam, he was gone, man, chasing after him, and here everybody's right behind him. I'm running after him. Stop. I switch. I'm whooping dogs. Get your asses back. Because this is a big raccoon, man. That raccoon was going to kill 5 of my 6 dogs. Easy. That was a big ass raccoon. And there's like I said, there's 5 or 6 of them. And I got them back. And now they don't go past the tree line. They stop and kind of look. They want to go. Stop. They stop right there. And do you let one of the raccoons attack them first and learn them a lesson, or
Right? What do you do?
Because the other day was the first time the raccoons, 2 of the biggest ones, they stopped and they looked at us. And I told Fred, "Don't you do it, Fred." And Fred's staring at them. We're about 100 yards apart, and they're just staring at each other. Now, do it, Fred. Don't you do it. And Fred, he wants to go so bad. Everybody else was just kind of lollygagging around. They didn't notice him. Fred noticed him. Man,
Fred knew.
Fred
knows.
Funny. Fred was shaking.
Yeah.
He wanted to go so bad. Now, Fred, don't you move.
Oh, but he was so cute with his little Oh my goodness, I'm gonna
Oh, he's just
explode.
having a conniption, man. Fred will hopper boy. He will. He gets so excited. And he's gotten fat and he can't run as fast as he used to.
Oh, little baby.
Speaking of barking, mine are starting to do just what you said. Neighbors are starting to get up, lights are starting to come on, and they're starting to bark. Hold on.
Yeah, they're real good at that. Little sass dogs. At Tommy's little house. Oh, ain't he cute? His little setup in there. Boom. Boom. There they all are.
Louis,
Out in the glory.
you haven't met Louis.
Louis. Yeah.
My new dog, Big Boy.
Let me see. Big boy.
Yeah, he's big, full size dog. Come here, Louis.
Oh, Louis. Look at him. Little
Yeah.
Louis.
Yeah, you never met Louis. He's about he's about 10
beautiful.
months old now.
Hey, what?
About 10 months.
Really?
Yeah,
He's gonna be a big dog.
yeah. Him and Baxter and Stanley are buddies.
Oh,
They're buddies.
buddies.
He's
One of
scared,
my chickens has become buddies with my cat.
right? And of course, you know Stanley.
Stanley, Stan the man, little Stan.
Oh, Stanley.
Oh,
Booty.
oh, lots of love. Just a lovable cat. Boom.
You see these two idiots over here?
Well, I see those two awesome dogs over there. Yes,
Fighting.
I do. Yeah. And which one? So which? Baxter or not Bowser?
Yeah,
Baxter. And what's the other one playing with Louis?
Yeah. And Louis, he grabs his whole head and drags him across the floor. Just drags him. And Baxter will be hanging off Louis's lip, literally hanging off his lip. They just chew each other up, man. They just chew each other up.
Splash will whisper my little kitten's whole head in his mouth.
Right.
And he'll just sit there and it looks like he's freaking hurting him, and he's not. He's
Exactly. Exactly. You think, oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? Baxter. It's so funny. Baxter, when he gets enough, he just gets under Louis. And Louis
Yep.
to him. He just stays under him.
It just stays under.
Louis trying to get to him. Baxter just staying under him. He fits perfectly right under him. Or Baxter will go under a table or something. And Louis like, come on, man. Come on. I won't hurt you. I promise. Come on. Come on.
Right.
I'm playing. Come on.
Right. I'll be easy. I won't do that again.
That's
And then,
he's blindsided me right across the back of both legs so many times already. I'm walking along there and they're behind me running and playing, and here he comes. Because the little ones come right to me to hide. He'll get up between my legs and he just boom.
right. He's like a bull in a china shop.
God almighty. And like the couch and the chair.
Yeah.
He'll just come flying over the back of the couch. Yeah, I'm sitting there watching TV and he come flying over me. And he leaves the same way. Boom, right over my head.
He leaves the same way.
It does. He could go around it, but he doesn't. He just jumps over right over top of me.
Right. That's
And
the only way to get by
Right.
it. In his eyes.
Well, him and Stanley, I put up a dog fence between that couch and chair over there so everybody's staying here, not roaming the house. Well, Stanley gets up on the back of the couch, and I've got it about 4 feet away from the back of the couch. Stanley just jumps, clears it, and he's free. So he kind of looks around and goes, I can do that. Well, he gets on the other one over here and jumps off the back of it, but he's so heavy, he flipped it.
Oh.
He flipped it. And Louis made it over the fence, but he hit the ground, slid up under the dadgum kitchen table. I mean, it was a mess. It was a mess. I come in, I'm looking around, and those two idiots are sitting there looking at me. I'm like, what are y'all doing? What are you doing? I couldn't put the fence back far enough. They could jump over it from the back of the couch. They're crazy.
You ain't gonna hold them in.
I can't keep them in.
They will break out of this joint. They are not gonna stay captive.
The kitchen, we have a doggy door on it, permanent, that it latches.
No.
We didn't have Louis a month. He's right over the top of it. He's like, this ain't gonna stop me.
No.
The little guy can't quite make it. He can. No problem.
Totally breaking out of this joint. Just hey, you ain't holding me down. You locking me up. You
Nope.
telling me where I can go and where I can't go. I already have to listen to you when I go outside, let alone in my own house.
Can you see him now?
Oh, they're so cute. Look at them.
They're worn out.
Oh,
Yeah.
they napping?
Yeah, they're
Yep.
about to go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
They're all grown up. And this one, I should have named him Shadow.
Oh.
Oh yeah, I can't go nowhere. I can't get up and walk across the room.
Yeah.
And he follows me.
Yep.
He's my little guy. He's,
My boy.
I saved him from our local pound here.
Yeah.
And this is such a good little dog.
He knows.
That a newlywed couple, went and bought him, and then couldn't take care of him, and so they took him to the pound. I'm like,
I'll take him home.
I'll take him. He's a smart little dude, man. He's a good little dog. He's
You
good.
be my little satellite.
Yep, he's a good boy. It's funny. He will literally take a treat from Louis.
Yeah.
He will go take it from him, and Louis ain't got nothing to say about it. Stanley just
Totally just
takes
lost
him.
the treat. Don't.
Yep. We had
Little man syndrome.
we had ribs last week. Everybody got a rib bump. Well, I give Louis his, and I hadn't given Stanley his yet, and Louis turns and runs off. Stanley just went after him and just took it out of his damn mouth. Louis was like, up and ate his bone. I'm like, well, what the hell was that, Stanley? He's a bully. Bullies poor Louis.
Stanley's a bully. Well, little guy.
He's been in the pen. He's been in the
He's
joint.
been in the pen. He's been in the joint. That's right.
He
He
knows.
got little man syndrome. He always looking out for self.
He don't play that mess.
No. Good boy.
But I watched a podcast, and they did the these guys did the research, did the deep dive, and think about this, and this is something that's got to be done, or we're done for. That BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street, you've heard of all three of them. Did you know that they have majority control over 88% of the Fortune 500 companies? Think about that.
That's a lot of control.
That's total, almost control.
Yeah, because how many is actually available?
All right, but the BlackRock head guy, Mitch, that's the head of BlackRock. He's the one. They're the ones pushing the DEI and the EXR.
That's the identification number through your phone.
No, diversity, inclusion, and equity. The woke agenda that corporations are making people do. And the Soros, the Tides Foundation, they started a group that grades you on your diversity, equity, and inclusion, and on your governance, your equality, and your environmental governance. They give you a score. And being the biggest companies in the world, they can affect your stock prices by using this score against you. And since they control so much, they look at it and go, your ESG score isn't good enough. You bring that up, maybe we'll get you a loan. Maybe we'll help you out here. But you got to get your ESG score up. And they've been pushing it hard. Well, Vivek wrote a book about stopping that whole woke agenda in corporate world. He started a company that promoted people that didn't do it. If you don't have one of these programs, we're going to promote you that you're not falling for the woke agenda. And he started a whole company for financing for non-woke companies so they can get business going. Because BlackRock on State Street were shutting people down unless they bowed their knee to the ESG score.
And did you say is that the same man that's running for president?
Yeah. He wrote a book about getting rid of this corporate governance of this whole woke agenda.
Yeah, Elon Musk is doing that too. Did you know that?
Elon's working towards it though. Yeah.
No, I'm saying Elon Musk is trying to get rid of the corporate agenda. Is what I'm saying.
Right.
He keeps talking
Look
about
what happened when he bought Twitter. Hell, he fired 70% of the staff, and Twitter didn't miss a beat.
Right.
How do you get rid of 70% of the staff and never miss a beat? What were those people doing?
So right.
Didn't miss a single one of them. Didn't miss a single one.
Nope, nobody. So that's my point. I mean, like, so this Vic guy, like he's saying the same stuff that Elon Musk is saying, and freaking Ben Gortzel, who created Sophia Artificial Intelligence. So they're saying the same daggum stuff. I mean, but maybe he's good.
No,
maybe he's going to.
No, they're not saying the same stuff. You got to watch some of his.
They are.
You got to watch some of his.
I ain't listened to this Vic guy. All right.
Some of the interviews. Just watch some of the interviews.
I will.
And you'll see pretty quick that he's not saying the same stuff. Yeah. He's actually saying for the last 50 years, our government has been getting more and more and more crooked, and somebody's got to stop it.
Well, that's what I mean. Elon Musk says that our government has gotten more and more crooked, and we must stop them. We've got to stop the big corp.
Elon's just doing for Elon.
Right.
Don't be fooled by Elon.
Right, but he's saying some real good stuff, boy. People are catching on to it.
Elon is a fair weather guy.
A fair weather, well, right.
Whatever's most popular right now.
Well, I'll be kind to Vic. Until I look Vic up.
Well, I'm just saying, he's not going to get anything. He's not going to get nowhere. But it's refreshing.
It's refreshing to hear somebody out there in the presidency.
Now, one of the best deals, he went on Bill Maher's new podcast where with the guests that they drink and smoke weed and stuff and, get a little crooked. He does. And Bill Maher, no matter who he's got on, drinks and smokes weed. Good morning. During the interview.
Yeah.
Well, he had Vivek on, and he's pushing hard on Vivek about all those things. I mean, he's sitting there telling him, "You've got to stop this. You can't do this. You can't say these things. You can't do those things." And he's like, "Hey, Bill, it's been screwed up for so long, man. I want things to change, but you can't say that." Just watch those interviews. It's pretty good.
Interesting. And you said, what was the name or the interview show?
Bill Maher.
Bill Maher.
That lefty comedian, Bill Maher?
No.
Oh, he's a huge lefty, but he's been slowly over the years turning more center right because he's noticing the left is psychotic.
But the left and the right are two wings of the same bird.
But they're the violent wing. They're the violent wing, and we're the passive wing.
Bill Maher. No. It's the same bird. They're all working together. Oh yeah, I know who that man is.
Yeah. So it's a good interview.
I'm gonna watch it.
And the one he does on, look up PBD broadcast or PBD podcast.
PBD. PBD.
P is in Paul, B is in boy, D is in dog. Podcast. Patrick David
PBD.
Et.
PBD. Oh. All right. I got to take screenshots of all this.
Right. watch his interview on that. Vivek was on there. Watch those guys anyway. They got some great interviews. They
What
had
you mean great interviews? What are they talking? Like, okay, I'll listen to them.
they had Anthony Weiner on there.
I don't know who he is.
You don't know who Anthony Weiner is?
Mm-mm.
He's the dude that was showing his wiener. He was a freaking congressman from New York that was sending dick pics to underage girls.
And I don't remember that.
And they had him on there, and they went boom and pressed him on that shit.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Why does a grown man do that? What are you thinking?
Yeah.
And then they pressed him hard on how did the Clintons have so many dead people in their wake? How? And he got mad. Woo! He didn't like that.
Yeah.
He was defending the Clintons' body count. Big time.
Oh.
Big time. And they called him on it. They're like, what are you getting so upset about? What's the problem here? They're pretty brutal on people, man. And they basically do their best to bring on the far left radicals and let them talk. Let them talk.
They bring them on, let them talk, and they just ask certain questions. Is that what you're saying?
And then shoot them down.
And then shoot them down. It's like a roast. It's like a big old roast.
Well, it's more like a complete scouring. Because they let these people talk and put out all their psychotic stuff, and then they just, like I said, one by one, they dismantle them, piece by piece. You go, okay, all right. Let's think about what you just said, and then they put it through the paces. It's pretty good.
Is this on like this show? Is it a mainstream show? Like, is it come on television?
No, they're all. It's all YouTube, Rumble, and Twitter stuff. No, they don't. Nobody's going on TV anymore.
I think Marie, right? I think Marie has brought this show up to me before. Maybe I don't know. It's like I don't know all these names, man. I don't have the news. I don't watch.
Well, I'm teaching you.
You are teaching me.
That's what's here. That's what's
are.
That's
yeah. Yeah. Tell me more.
But that Patrick David Bett, that PBD, that guy is he's Armenian, and his family moved here when he was a kid, and he is so pro-American. He's trying to get Joe Rogan. He's trying to get all these conservative groups together and go, guys, what are we doing? Forever we've been fighting back and forth, and the left, they're so tight, they're together, man. Why aren't we using conservative businesses and buy up media, buy these things that they're taking and controlling us with? You know, what are we doing? We're letting them win. So this guy, he's pushing pretty hard for.
Interesting.
Let's get the Christian right together. He's a Christian, and they're big on family values and Christianity. Those guys are. And they're like, if we don't come together as Christians, and that's his thing. How did America get here? And I totally agree with him. Christian conservatives over the last 50 years have been too tolerant. We've been too tolerant. We took that step back each time. You don't let this happen and you hate children. You don't let this happen and you don't like the water. You don't like clean air. And we all went, Christian, okay, all right. Don't call me a name. Don't call me names. Okay. We'll get
to offend you. I didn't mean to offend you.
Yeah.
Right.
That's how we got here. There's no doubt.
But we were supposed to get here now. By the word of God, it says all nations will fall. And by golly, that's exactly what they've done. That
was pre-millennial.
Well, tribulation already happened. Understand. Understand. I got that. Right.
No, this is the end times of the devil loose.
Now we're in Satan's loose, right? And so in every single nation, they know Jesus. Every single nation knows about Jesus Christ. Everybody on earth understands that there is a Jesus Christ. So in every nation, that person is not Chinese, they ain't Japanese, they ain't look at these dirty knees, they ain't American, they ain't no, they're of the kingdom of God now. right? Because tribulation already happened. Now we got the kingdom of God, living inside of it. And so we are not of any of these nations. We are of the nation of Jesus Christ, God Almighty, our holy creator. This is what nation we are of. All the nations that have been built, America is one of the smallest, youngest nations on earth. It's one of the youngest ones still at this moment in time.
That's
Ninja, I got no faith in, and it's a cauldron. It's a cauldron of all religions, of all, and so all these things that they're putting together, and we got to build America back, or we got to like come and fight together. Yeah, we should, but not the way they're saying that we should.
Well, these guys are saying in a Christian way, in a moral, God-centric, family-centric. The nuclear family, like Vivek says this, the nuclear family is the best form of governance ever known.
Nuclear,
and it comes from God, father, mother, children.
That's what nuclear family, right?
Yeah,
and that's true.
It's the best form of governance. It has the best outcomes in society when you follow that rule.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they're fighting for. This single parent home shit, whether it's man or woman, is what's bringing society down. You got to have both. It's a balance. It's the way nature
is. It's a judgment. I don't know, man. I just see a heavy judgment. Like you said, they all gave in. And even the children of Israel, in Jeremiah, they had to submit to Babylon, to the kingdom of Babylon. So I really feel like there's a huge judgment going on, and like everyone's trying to build America back, but what we need to be doing is praying for all of the kingdom of heaven, like the children of God Almighty, not just America, but Japan and China and
also
Europe.
Also,
right.
Yeah.
Right. That belong to the kingdom, the government of God Almighty.
And when I said that, have you ever heard, or have you ever listened to some of the radio traffic from airlines? And when they're having a problem, they're calling in an emergency. Not all of them, but the Christian pilots, when asked how many people on board, they'll say 100 souls. They don't say people. They'll say souls. And some will just say people, but some, and a lot that I've heard, say souls. And that's significant.
Yeah, it is.
To me.
Yeah, no, that's very interesting.
I want a guy up there at the helm that thinks of me as a soul.
A soul, right?
Not just a ticket.
Not just a ticket. Yeah, not just a ticket, but a soul.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. The first time I heard that, I was like, that's pretty cool. These people understand. They're not just random people. We're souls.
They're not just a spot, right? They're a being, a soul. Yeah. Oh.
But all that stuff that you're saying is all fine and well. But here's the way I see it. Think about this. We're in the end times. The devil is loose to deceive the nations once more. Now, if I got one shot, this is my last shot, I'm the devil. What do I want to do? I want to convince people that everything they believe is coming in the Bible. Why not mimic it? Keep people confused, deceived.
Mm-hmm.
My whole life, I've heard people going, these are signs of the end times. Look at this. That's perfect. Think about it. It's real. He's coming back. He's coming back. He's coming back. No, he's already come. And the devil's just handing you what you want. He's going, yeah, you like that? Here, we'll get some more wars going and more rumors of wars. Yeah, y'all like that, don't you? And he's just doing what he does.
Right. That's why all movies, television shows, songs, that's why all of them say, I mean, The Simpsons, one of the main television shows, like it tells you exactly what they're going to do because like you said, he's literally rewriting Revelation. What happened then He's trying to make it look like it's happening now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, dude.
He's mirroring because all he can do is mock.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So he's just mirroring
Uh-huh.
what's already happened.
Yeah, I
And
know,
so
dude.
people go, "Oh my God,
I know.
look at this."
You know, the first time that I realized that I love that. The first time that I realized that was when I was almost flipping Torah, you know, major Torah observant, Hebrew roots, like almost a Kabbalist. Okay,
Right.
and I was listening to these rabbis, and this one rabbi, he was talking about how we have to help God fulfill prophecy,
What?
and I was like, what? What did he just say? You know, so I went back and listened to it again. We have to help God fulfill prophecy. And man, as soon as I heard that, it was like an automatic click. That's what they're doing. You know, but I didn't even know tribulation already happened yet.
Right.
But it was like an automatic. They are making it look like
Prophecy.
this has happened. They're reading out of the book of Revelation and they're writing this stuff out, man. You know, and that's how they're able to put it in movies and television shows and songs and you know, write this stuff in it because they know exactly what's coming because they're pulling it out of the Word of God.
Yeah.
You know,
because the devil knows the Bible as good as anybody.
Right.
But I mean, it's Satan's way of prophesying, right? He's the one. He's the one that's making it happen, and you know, like that. You know, like the Simpsons, right? Like
in an unnatural way.
Right. Exactly.
The
like
product.
the Simpsons, right? Like that Trump's president, all that stuff. 10 years prior, they already knew he was going to be president. So you know, it's false.
It's all in the prep and the perception and the programming. And
good morning, by the way.
The devil knows that. He's got to prep us first, get our minds open to the suggestion. Then you do the propaganda, and then you move on down into the process and get you going. And people just fall right in line. Boom, 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 boom. They eat it up. They eat it up. They like that security.
Yes.
It's those people like cops and security people and other civil servants that when it comes down crunch time, they step back and go, "I'm just doing my job. Just doing my job." And wait a minute, we're humans here. You know, do you think this is right? Are you doing this because you think it's right, or are you doing it just because it's your job? And they're
doing it to get their pension.
It's their job. Yep. He's got people so afraid and on such an edge, they can't lose their jobs. They can't. They'll do anything to keep their job. And that's their only thought is they have to keep that job. And you can't blame them. They're paycheck to paycheck. How many tens of millions of Americans and around the world are like that? One paycheck from being on the street. And they scare people, and they will do anything to stay right there. And we're getting to a point here, especially globally in Europe, they're getting so close to going, fine, we'll take socialism, just stop. We'll take communism, just stop. Okay, fine, you control everything, just let me live my life. Okay, let me go to a movie if I want, let me go to the library, just leave me alone. But they won't leave us alone. And people are just about ready, especially in Europe, it's bad. They're about ready to throw their hands up and go, fine. Hey, bud, how you been?
Good, brother.
Did y'all get y'all's court stuff lined up?
Oh, well, did I tell you that they put me in jail?
No, I hadn't talked to y'all since then.
All right. Yeah, so so my second court date, they had the district attorney, the judge brought in the district attorney general. And that old rooster, like he goes in there and he says, "Your Honor, I've heard this argument probably about 1,000 times. You have jurisdiction." And I said, objection, hearsay. I'm like, it's got to be a matter of law. We're in the court of law. It has to be facts. You can't just say
right.
That,
I agree with you, Judge. We're right.
Right. And so then the judge, and I didn't even catch this, and I wish I would have, But then the judge is the one, he looks up the title 16, saying that he's got statutory jurisdiction, which I should have objected and said, I should have said to the judge, I should have said, have you sworn an oath to the 4 judicial canons of the state of Tennessee? Because you're supposed to be non-biased. You're not supposed to help the prosecution or the defense.
Laws for him.
And now here you are, looking up laws and stating laws.
Right.
And so I should have done that, but I didn't catch it. It was my first time like actually being faced by a district attorney. And anyway, so he shows me Title 16, saying that he has jurisdiction, all that stuff. So I show him Tennessee Title 29, which is statutory construction. And I show him that in the glossary under person, that a person is a corporation or a trust. And I said, well, I'm not a person. I'm not an employee of the corporation.
Yeah.
And I also showed him in the same title, it also said that if one came to the understanding that the statutory law is violating his constitutional rights, that he can make a declaration thereof. Right. Okay. And so that's what I did. I put in my affidavit of rescission 4 years ago now. Right. And I showed that to the judge. And I said, I rescinded all corporate contracts from the United States, the state of Tennessee, and all that.
Right.
And he goes, so Mr. Hicks, are you telling me that that because you're not a person, that the traffic laws don't apply to you? And he was trying to catch me, and so I diverted the question. I forgot what I did, but I diverted the question.
Right.
But then they tried to. So I was saying that they never proved jurisdiction, therefore the court can't move forward. It's a violation of my due process rights. If the court keeps moving forward, they're violating my due process. Well, Ashley caught the district attorney general texting the judge.
Wow.
Yeah, so he sat there, texted the judge, and she saw the judge look down and read it. And so what they did was they conspired against me, and they were trying to steamroll me into making a decision on which trial I was going to have next. And so I kind of diverted it by saying, well, I'm not familiar with these two different kinds of trials. I said, if you'll give me 24 hours, Your Honor, to go home and research this stuff, I can give you my answer.
Continuance, right?
And he goes, well, Mr. Hicks, it's Friday, so you'd have till Monday. And I was like, well, all the better, And he goes, I don't know, General, what do you think? And he got up and he was like, Your Honor, we're all here. The court is ready to move forward, And I said, objection. I was like, I said, see, Your Honor, I go, this is the problem with the system, is that you guys steamroll people into making a decision that's going to affect an uninformed decision that's going to affect their lives.
Right.
I'm like, we've already taken 2 months to get here.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
What's a weekend?
Right.
And so he goes, well, General, in my good conscience, I can't allow Mr. Hicks to make a decision. I'm going to go ahead and let him take till Monday. But I saw when I got home and I listened to the audio on the trial, I realized that they were trying to get me to move the court forward, because if I make the decision to move the court forward, then everything I said previous to that is null and void.
Right.
So I wrote him a letter and I said, in my good conscience, I refuse to make a decision. I said, in my opinion, the district general attorney can't just say you have jurisdiction, and Your Honor, you can't just say I believe I have jurisdiction. It has to be a matter of law. And yes, you brought up Tennessee Code 16, but I defended that with Tennessee Code Title 29, and therefore, in defense of due process, I will not move the court forward, John. So then I had my next court date, and I show up, and I'm getting ready to go in the courtroom, and I had 4 sheriffs arrest me.
Right before he got, I mean, he was at the door.
warrant.
I was behind him. He was at
Really?
the door, and they flipping arrested him without a warrant.
Yeah.
Did the judge already have the letter?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had already sent everything.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah.
I filed the letter on Monday,
Right.
probably about noon.
Right.
And so, yeah, I gave him the letter. I filed it with the district attorney.
Uh-huh.
I brought it by the district attorney office and handed it to his secretary.
And so they arrested you for what?
Right.
Right.
Right. Jason talked to a policy enforcer, and I talked to a policy enforcer, and the guy that I talked to, he looked it up, and he was like, he was like, well, he said, he had this perplexing look on his face while he was reading it, and he was like, I don't see anything here that he should have been arrested for. He said he's been coming to court, right? And I was like, yeah, we're on our 3rd court appearance.
Failure to appear, nothing
Right.
like that.
Right. He's like, I've never seen this before. He said, I've never seen anyone get arrested for
and
false
that's what they said in the
pretenses."
jail too. He's like, why are you here?
Right. Well, how long were you there?
Well, they
Just
made
for a
my
few
bail
hours.
for $100. So
And they had us pay it at the jail, which
right.
you always get a bail bondsman, but we paid
Sounds
them
like
$100
extortion to me.
Yeah, well, what he did is abuse of power.
Yeah.
Abuse of power, U.S. Code 42 U.S. Code 1983, abuse of power, and the capias wasn't even signed by a judge; it was signed by the clerk.
Wow.
I know.
Warrant, a
So
fine.
what he did was he moved me out of that courtroom
'Cause
and brought
once-
me to a circuit court
Because that judge,
because the judge was willing to hear my case.
right?
So anyways. So I sat home and brooded on it, thought about it long and hard, and I realized
Prayed about
these
it.
people have no, and prayed about it. These people have no accountability.
No.
Or soul.
Okay,
Or soul.
right? But they don't have any accountability. So
Right.
especially the district attorneys have no accountability. So once I realized in my mind that that it's coming down from a high level. These people are wild west, doing what they want, ignoring their own laws, and violating their own laws.
This was just over traffic tickets.
right. This is just over traffic ticket. So I decided, you know what? I said this is not a hill to die on. My concern was that they're going to bring drug task force down to my house, plant a kilo of cocaine, and then I'm
Right.
gone for the next 5-10 years.
Right. They'll do something to balance it to their favor.
Mm-hmm.
They always do.
So I made an out of court deal with an assistant district attorney, and she kept like 2 charges that I had to plead guilty to, which was freaking horrible because then I go to the court again, and it's a female judge this time. And so we went through all our stuff, and she said, you're going to pay the court fees. I'm like, yeah, whatever, just freaking whatever. And so at the end, she was like, okay, Mr. Hicks, I just have to ask you a few questions. And I'm like, okay. And she goes, the first question was, Mr. Hicks, have you been coerced in any way to make the decision that you're making today?
Where do I start?
Right.
I got pulled over and I got a ticket first. That's where the
That was the beginning.
Right. So I took a sec. I paused for a minute and I said no. And then she asked me a couple other questions. Then her last question.
Can you plead the fifth on that?
Yeah. Her last question was, Mr. Hicks, do you waive your rights today? To the Constitution. And man, I put my head down like that, and I'm just like, and she goes, I'm sorry, Mr. Hicks, I have to ask these questions.
She knew.
Yeah, she knew.
Saying,
and I
"I'm
was thinking in my
sorry."
mind, I'm like, the very thing I was fighting, you were telling me I was wrong.
Right.
The very thing I'm fighting, you're telling me I'm wrong. Now you have to get me to waive my rights to the Constitution in order for you to
Claim victory.
right. And I said, and I just sat there and I just looked up at her like that through my hand, and I was like, yes. And then that was it. And I paid my coin. What I'm trying to do is I got to get back under the radar, man. They know me at the court. I call the courthouse. They're like, is this Jason Hicks? You know, like they know who I am.
Right.
And I don't like that.
They don't like anybody making waves. Just take your punishment, pay your fines, and leave us alone. Don't fight for your rights. Don't fight for what's right. Just shut up.
Yeah.
Well, the process.
Shut up and get in line.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But like Jason was saying, I was so mad at him when I wasn't mad. I didn't understand. Like this is what he's worked so hard to research and look into and study and he has understanding and he's flipping showing these guys, exactly what it is that they need to be shown. And what do you mean you're gonna flip and just give up? But he was right. It's not a hill to die on because there's bigger things.
You gotta know when you're whooped.
Right. And we're fixing to like be having some crazy stuff with medical,
right.
Like
and that's the thing is like, if you're going to force me to put something in my body or something like that, I'll fight tooth and nail for that.
Right.
You have an understanding.
I'll go to jail. You know what I mean? I'll go to jail for that. I'm not going to jail for some traffic tickets. I'm sorry. Right. I'm 52 years old and the thought of sleeping on a concrete slab sounds horrible to me. So,
and that's the bad part. They know that.
Right.
I know.
And so, but like for the right cause, I will do that. You know what I mean? My
bad is there's no skin off their teeth. Either way you go.
Right.
It doesn't matter to them.
No.
They want their win, and they've got resources. They got none but time. Jason, just keep doing your thing, and we'll keep thwarting you every which way you go. We got all the time.
Well, and that's what they did to my buddy Greg. He'd been fighting his traffic tickets for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
He finally gets before a jury. Check this out. A jury of 6.
Wow.
That's an Admiralty jury.
Yeah, what is that?
Admiralty court.
Yeah, that's Admiralty.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they had 4 district attorneys against him on their side. Yeah.
Hey, they probably got together and went, look, guys, we've been making so much money off of these traffic tickets forever. We can't let this guy win and everybody see the open door.
Right.
Can't do this.
Well, right. Well, in the Tennessee in the Tennessee statutes, it actually declares in Title 29 that for every guilty judgment that the court receives 5%.
Yeah, of all the fees, right? Yeah, so it's a business for them.
Absolutely.
But they get that 5% no matter what.
Right. And so
they're like a pimp.
Anyways, my friend Greg, they objected to everything he was saying, but he was proving as a matter of law that he was correct. And then the judge broke in and said, we're not going to have any circus acts in this courtroom, which is exactly what they were doing.
Yeah, they are the kangaroo court.
Yeah, and they ended up they threw him in jail for 2 months. He's got a year probation, and now so he's out of jail. But his probation, they're not answering the phone. So if he gets a no-show, then he gets more probation.
I've been put in jail over that exact thing. Yeah. They have you be a call in.
He's been fighting it for 3 years. He's had his windows busted in twice.
Yep.
He's
videoed
they've come to his house.
Yep.
And searched his house. Like it's not.
No,
it's not worth it.
Busted his window out with his 12-year-old daughter.
Yeah, on her side.
Mm-hmm. His 12-year-old daughter in the car.
That sounds like one of those Chuck Schumer deals where, hey, you mess with the local authorities, they got 6 ways to Sunday to get you back, son.
Yeah.
Just pay your ticket, son. Just pay your ticket.
But I was talking. Okay, so my last court date when I was waiting. The guy one of the guys at sheriff's that pulled me drug task force, he was sitting behind me in court, and I was like, hey man, what's up? And because he was he was everything because I was going through it. You know, I was like
When he
Tennessee
got pulled over.
Constitution, Section 7, or Article 1, Section 7 says I have the right to be secure in my personal papers and facts, all that stuff, and everything. And he was like, yeah. You know, this is during the pullover, you know. And I was telling him, look, you know, this is going to happen. That's going to happen. You know, you guys are violating 18 code 241, 242, all this stuff. And he's like, yeah, go ahead, try it, you know, and all that stuff. Right.
Right.
And then, well, when he was in court, I was talking to him and I was like, dude, you're not going to believe it, but this is my 5th court appearance on that stop. And he goes, you're kidding me. And I'm like, no. And I said, dude, you're totally right, man. They don't listen to nothing. And he goes, I tried to tell you. He said, look, it's just as bad for us. If we don't do what they tell us to do, we get in trouble.
Right.
Wow. You know,
it's a scam. It's a bad system.
Right.
It's a bad system.
It is.
And what's funny is your mentality is the same as mine and our culture and the way we grew up. We never grew up once thinking about going into politics. We thought about working a job, taking care of a family, and we never thought about that. But these people were raised thinking about that. How are you going to be a leader, a ruler one day, and have power?
Right.
These people, they live a whole different world than we do.
They do.
I watched a series on HBO called Successor, and it's about these billionaires, this billionaire family, and it's kind of like modeled on the Murdochs. You know, it's this old dad, this patriarch, and his family, his 2 sons and daughters, and all of his ex-wives. Well, just the way they show these people's lifestyle. They had a castle in England. They had a huge summer home in New Hampshire at Martha's Vineyard. They had their mountain home. They had their yacht. They had jets. They had helicopters. They just would say, just do it. And money's no object, right? And the way these people looked at the world and looked at us was they were pretty honest that we don't mean nothing. The law means nothing to them.
Right.
No. Everybody's got a price. Everybody. Those guys who say they don't, okay, you don't have a price, then we'll just get rid of you.
Yeah.
We will smear you. We will ruin your life.
Right.
You can't stop us. And that's the way that system is. It's the tier right there where they finally get a key to the executive restroom, and that's where it all changes.
Right. And the Supreme Court's not going to hear a friggin' traffic violation.
Yeah. They don't care about
so you're never going to get there.
Yeah. Everybody's like, pay the ticket.
Right.
Just pay the ticket.
Right.
No, they have no principles. They have no morals.
Right.
But still learn this stuff, learn how to stand up on your rights and stuff. That way, because the way everything's going, we need to know how to stand up for your rights, right. And to die on the right hill and not over traffic tickets.
Right.
I think a lot of these are fighting with the knowledge that they've been given. They're fighting these small little things that do not matter. Right. And they might even get put in flipping jail and end up having to do the exact thing they don't want to do when they do try to push, force you to do things medically or whatever it may be.
Right.
Yeah.
Have you ever read Fahrenheit 451?
No, I heard of it.
Oh man, I did a lot in high school. Man, that was a long time ago.
Or seen the movie. There's a remake. They did a modern remake.
Yeah,
I watched it the other day, and it's pretty good to revisit that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
because the propaganda, their deal was the kind of propaganda they put out was Benjamin Franklin was the first fireman. He burned the first book. He knew that was wrong. They're lying to you.
Yeah.
You got to get rid of that stuff. All those words, they don't mean anything. It's all lies. Here's the way things are. Here's, you're happy. That was their deal. Aren't you happy?
Right.
You should be happy with what you have. You have a place to live. You have food. You have shelter. You have all that. Aren't you happy?
Right.
What's going on? Right. And when you relook at that stuff and you're just like, wow, so much of that is happening right now. That mentality, that verbiage, taking language and flipping it, just the whole wow. That's
It
great.
is. It is wild.
Hey, what's up, bud?
Don't you do
Good
it?
to see you too, but just the propaganda. You look back on our lives alone, just golly, wow, the lies, the just inhumanity to us,
Right.
lack of regard for us. I read a deal. I showed Kathy yesterday. There was a guy who was diagnosed with cancer. Think about this. He was diagnosed with cancer, and he found out through a holistic book he was reading on holistic medicine, and it told him to try apricot seeds. And he started eating like 40 apricot seeds a day,
Man,
and he cured his cancer.
really?
FDA, he wrote a paper on it, and the FDA came after him,
Uh,
indicted him, and convicted him. He went to prison for 5 years for merely stating he had cured his own cancer.
oh my goodness.
Right.
Wow.
The word cure. What he was sent to jail for.
I was talking to a guy that was in jail for 5 years, and he was saying that he met a guy. He's like, you're talking a lot like this guy that I met in jail. He's like that guy's buried for the rest of his life.
Right. That guy knew all the laws too.
Right. And it's interesting too, right? Because there's this dude, his name is Howard Freeman, and he used to teach the churches, like how to get out of traffic tickets, violations, all that stuff in
Right.
the 80s. And but Howard Freeman, his lecture was called what was it called? It was called
Wolves.
Sheep and Wolf Country.
Right.
And he was saying, in doing this and fighting these tickets and all that stuff, he said, remember, you are the sheep.
Yeah.
You are not the wolf.
Yeah.
He
You're on
said,
their
don't
territory.
act like the wolf. If you act like the wolf, then they're gonna come at you.
Right. Right.
He was like, you
There's
got
no place to act like a wolf when you're a sheep.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Because
Yeah.
they don't like that.
They don't like that at all.
What they know. They don't like you understanding how they're screwing you.
Right.
A lot of people know they're being screwed. They just don't know how.
They don't know how.
They
Well,
don't
it's Satan's way, right? It's all through illusions. It's
Sure.
all illusions. Money is an illusion. Statutory law is called the color of law. If you go into
color, you gotta love those words.
right, if you go into the Black's Law Dictionary under color or colorable, it means something that appears to be real, but it is not.
It ain't there. It gets placed later on.
Right.
Something gets put there under the color of the law. We don't know what it's going to be. We'll know when we get there.
Yeah. But we're in a de facto government, right? We used to be in a
Absolutely, Eric.
I was watching a podcast and I agreed with these guys. They pretty much crunched everything, and we're under an oligarchy.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
basically an oligarchy now is what we're ruled by.
Mm-hmm. So did you hear that they're planning on rolling out the whole mask mandate and all that again in September?
Oh, yeah. Yep. I was asking Ashley that at the beginning, and she said she had already seen some people wearing their mask.
You think that there's going to be more resistance this time than there was previously?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Do you think that because of that resistance, like they know that there's going to be more resistance, and so now they're going to be able to start implementing medical tyranny?
Oh gosh, yeah. Hang on a second.
Putting people in jail and stuff.
For sure, they're going to do their best. Oh gosh, yeah. No doubt about it. That's not That's not even in
What's
question.
with this chicken, man?
They
Mm.
my battery was running down, but it's I don't know how many of them are going to be false flags and how many of them are going to be real, because it's not going to take many false flags in some areas.
What do you mean real? Like, what are you talking about?
Arrest for not complying, with the mask mandate.
Oh, right. Yeah. No doubt. Like
What?
staged arrests.
Right, just to scare people.
Yeah, I like what you're saying there. Yeah, no doubt.
Because they know that there's plenty of areas that they see something like that, they'll go boom right in line.
Yeah,
no doubt.
like that. Did you see that back in 2020? Did you see the video with the black guy? And I think he could have been that or Mexican, but he was in a hospital room, and they forced him to they forced that vaccine on him. He was all like trying to fight him and everything.
I hadn't seen that.
It was such a staged event. It was like so crazy.
You could tell it's fake.
Yeah.
Oh well, yeah. The guy Anthony Oliver with this new song that he went viral on the internet. He's from North Carolina.
Yeah.
Have you seen it? Think about this. That thing came out, right?
Yeah.
And the right immediately claimed it and said, he's one of us. See, that's what we've been talking about. That's what we're saying here, man.
Right.
And so it goes to number one. Boom. Millions of views. Supposedly he gets offered record contracts. Supposedly, like John Rich, a conservative, country guy, is calling him, going, I'll take care of you. And at the Republican debate, they play part of his song in a break.
Really?
And they ask him about it, and he goes, I wrote that song about them. He's a big lefty. He's all for global labor union, a global world of workers union. He's a lefty, man.
Really?
Yeah. The things, if you listen to the song, they're pretty common sense, right? Our dollar isn't worth anything. Who even if you're on the left can be upset about overweight people, taking advantage of the system. Everybody, a lot of people understand. I'd love to make more money. I'm working for bullshit money. It's all pretty generic. But his heart, what he thinks, he's a lefty. He voted for Biden. He's a lefty. Always has been. Oh yeah. And he made a statement saying, "You guys."
Well, the other thing too is like, so I was watching one of his live shows, and it's funny, right? Because he's talking about government, the government and how it's not all that and everything, and then everybody at the show is chanting USA.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're so double-minded. It's not even funny, man. Right. You're holding two opposing beliefs in your mind at the same time and believing them both.
Right. Well, he'll read a Bible verse and then he'll sing that song, that's two different mindsets.
Right.
Right. That's two totally different mindsets. If you're in the biblical mindset, you don't even write this song.
Right.
Yeah, it doesn't even happen. But it happened, so we know where you kind of are. But it's just so funny how these people will just jump on anything that they can claim as a win for our side.
Yeah.
Without even waiting, let all the evidence come out. Let's let everything churn a little bit and see what comes out the other side.
Right.
It's just immediate. They're ours. He's ours. And then what? Don't be claiming me. I ain't with you guys.
Yeah. The one thing that I'm trying to do now is I'm just trying to keep in my mind that I was there.
Right.
I wanted Bernie Sanders, man. I wanted Bernie so bad,
Right.
And and so so I try to when I'm talking to folks and stuff like that, I really try to remember, you know, I was that guy. I was the same,
Sure.
you know.
They had you. You were
Yeah.
propagandized.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
think about this. Get on board with me on this and rod this. See what you think. As it stands now, and this has just been in the last year. Okay. If something in society happens through entertainment or whatever, one of these people comes out, whether it's good or bad or indifferent. Okay. If the left does it and the right don't like it, the right is starting to have effective boycotts, like the Bud Light deal. Right?
Right.
The song, same thing. The right jumped on it, it went to number one. So who's running the show here? What I'm saying is, the left, do we hate everything they do? Or are we cherry picking and go, well, this guy's okay. We're not going to boycott him. We're going to take him to number one. But, you know, this over here, yeah. We're boycotting you and you're going to lose 20, 50, 30, whatever billion dollars because we're boycotting you. But this guy, we're going to take you to number one. So the left can't do that. They can't do that either side, either way. They can't boycott an effective boycott, and they can't do an effective rocket to number one.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Well, they did it with
Unless they cheat.
Hold on. What's it? No, there's a
Unless they cheat.
Flamey what was it? Grant. Flamey Grant. You ever hear of Flamey Grant?
Well, I've heard of the old Amy Grant, but I ain't heard of Flamey.
Yeah, Flamey Grant's basically a drag queen.
Yeah.
Okay, I would assume that, right?
Who claims to be Christian.
And not a big deal. I never heard of it.
Yeah.
Viral. It's tough.
But the thing is on what was it on iTunes?
Right.
On iTunes, iTunes named Flamey Grant as the top Christian singer.
Right. Well, this guy Oliver, they named him the number one song.
Right.
You know? But it was the conservative, it was the right that in propaganda put him there. They were the ones that took him as their guy and downloaded his music.
Poster child.
The left, it was the right.
Right.
That shared him. It was the conservative Christian right that went, look at this, and shared it all over the world.
Do you think that this Oliver dude, do you think he's just a psyop?
I think he just, he got paid a little bit of money, and I don't know that he wrote the songs, whether he did or not. But
in his bio, he claims that he did. He claims that he just put it.
He's had those videos out there for quite a while, and nobody's latched on to nothing. And he's played at fairs or something, I guess, for quite a while in his area.
Oh yeah,
and nothing's. And then all of a sudden, boom. You know, only big tech can make those kind of moves.
Right.
I saw a deal where they're saying if you look at like Twitter and it says it had so many views and so many comments and so many shares and all that, especially on the views, if it says 12.5 million, that's probably only 1.25 million. It's probably only 10% of any number you see there.
Right.
And because this one guy knows the algorithm and how it does it. So if you see those numbers, 200 million views. No, that's
like almost the whole population of the United States.
Right. It's only 20 million. It's only 2 million, type of deal. And they went through this whole deal about how they compound those numbers. And it's like, you see whatever Elon Musk shares on Twitter gets 100 million views.
Right.
Time.
100 million views is like almost a quarter of the population.
Right. And I've always wondered about those numbers. There are really 100 million single individuals around this earth that sat there and watched whatever or read whatever he said and clicked like.
Right.
It just that's a lot of people, man. That's a lot of people.
No doubt.
I don't know if I can get my head around that.
Right.
Now, a million or so, because think about like a football stadium. You know, the biggest one, 150,000 people packed in there.
Right.
Every one of those people saw it and liked it. Plus 10 more stadiums.
Right. Plus
If
10
you-
more stadiums.
Yeah, if you've ever been in one of those stadiums and seen that amount of people at one time, that's dope.
Yeah, I used to go to the Bears games all the time.
Yeah. So
When I believed in the bread and circuses.
yeah, and I look at that stuff and go, wow, that's a lot of people that went, yes, dude, you're the man.
Yeah.
Because
No
I don't
doubt.
know many people that I just look at my circle of influence and the people I know, and I'd say less than 10% of the people I know and go in those realms.
Right.
They do Twitter, they do Facebook, they didn't, any of that in depth.
Right.
Right. So let's do those numbers again. Well, truth is, yeah, it is only 10%. That makes more sense.
Right.
That
Right.
makes a lot more sense. I can
No doubt. No
Right.
doubt.
I can buy that. But
Yeah.
those other numbers, it's like YouTube people, like Mr. Beast, billion views. That dude's made hundreds of millions of dollars off monetizing YouTube. And that's just, have you ever seen that dude's story and what they do and how they've done it?
Who are you talking about now?
Mr. Beast on
Mr.
YouTube.
Beast. No, I never heard of him.
He's the biggest YouTuber ever. He's the guy.
Never heard of him.
You look him up on YouTube, Mr. Beast. He's probably one of the oldest on YouTube also. He was one of the first to start monetizing real big. He's a young guy. Yeah, he's a young guy.
Yeah.
And think about this. This is how evil he is. His co-host or his partner over the last year has transitioned to a woman.
Right.
On camera.
That's the only way you're going to be popular is if you're going along with
children.
What's that?
He's married with kids.
Yeah.
And like you said, all of a sudden he started transitioning. Obviously they all sat down and went, look, we're losing viewership. We're losing revenue. We got to pump it up. Let's go, everybody. What are we going to do?
Transition.
I'll go tranny. Beautiful. Beautiful. Let's do it. Everybody okay with it? Yeah, as long as it keeps the money coming in. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Who cares what people think? Let's make some money.
Right.
Because they've been making, I think he's a billionaire now.
Whoring themselves out.
Yeah. I mean, what do you do with that? That's another thing. It's hard for me to believe that guy's content is worthy of monetization to those numbers.
Right.
It's just, I don't see the value.
Oh, it's garbage. If any of those, anybody that's got like, 100 million, 200 million viewers or whatever.
Right.
It's just garbage.
Right.
It's
so crazy.
Senseless, rhetoric. Hey, listen, I got to hit the bathroom. I'm going to give you back to Ashley.
All right, bud.
Dude, who is it? Martin Rothblatt. I believe that's the last name. But now it's Martine Rothblatt, the one that created Bina 48, the AI Bina 48. Flip and turn. That's a man that is married to a woman that they have children and turned himself into a female.
Right.
And now he's Martine instead of Martin. And it's the craziest flipping stuff. Right. Look on the base.
It's major psychosis, open air psychosis center.
Yeah.
That's what we are. We're an open air mental hospital.
Absolutely. It is the biggest. Yeah. Got a buddy that flipping put her child, her children in the high dollar flipping school. She moved, she's with a millionaire. They put him in the high dollar school. Okay. Only been there for 1 week. 1 week, one of the children sits down and starts talking to the counselor, and he's got bruises all over him, and from his brother, because his brother is 10 times bigger than he is, and he's little bitty, and they fight all the time.
Right.
They take this child's fingerprints and run him through a data system to make sure that he hasn't been a child that's been abused, in time.
Under a report somewhere.
And then they call my friend. Then they call her. and tell her, we believe that your child is being abused in the home. No investigation, and to let her know that they fingerprinted her child. What? You didn't even call me? You didn't say nothing, right?
No.
But it's this younger generation, right? Because she was like, this woman that calls me, she's 25, 23, 25 years old. She has no experience with children whatsoever. Maybe she does, but I don't think she has children of her own, but she seems of the type that's in the woke generation, this woke generation.
Right.
And I started thinking about it. They will not deviate. Psychology,
No,
they
no.
will not deviate from it. And like, we're supposed to get good
It's their
counsel
religion.
from the Lord. Right. It is a religion.
It's their religion.
Right. And stick to it. And there's no more investigation. It's just automatically, the child is right. The child is in danger. We need to take care of this child, get them pulled out of their homes. And
well, like I told you, society is primed for socialism and communism now. Because what does this generation want? They want to do this. Okay, fine. Leave me alone. Do whatever you want. That's their deal. Go. Leave me alone. They want to be back on their phone. Just do whatever. Go ahead. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. And they look up and go, what do you mean I can't go there? Well, it's law. You can't go here. Oh, okay, whatever. And they turn and they'll go that way. Okay, whatever. And question. They're just, okay. Back on their phone.
That's exactly how they do it. That is exactly how they do it. Oh, we can't go over there. Oh, right. Okay, well, I'll go over here then. No questioning. Right.
Right. They're zombies.
I seen.
Have you ever seen some like live video and like somebody's talking, but you can see the people back behind them. Watch how many people. That's what they're doing.
I know.
Old and young. It's
Everybody.
not just young.
Mm-hmm.
It's everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody.
Stuck in them.
What do you do, man?
The phone has become the parent. The phone has become the teacher. The phone has become the counselor. The phone is your life.
Lifeline. It's your lifeline to the world.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody knows anything. They just Google it.
Mm-hmm. Used to, your automobile was your lifeline.
Yeah.
You got to get from point A to point B. Yeah. Oh, right. There's no talking to Jesus. Let me ask Jesus what the answer is. Let me wait for the Lord to give me an answer. No, it's automatically, let me Google it.
Or let me have experience. Let me have experience that answers those questions. I know because I can. I can do things. I know things because I know. And these people don't know anything. They're like, what? Here, hold on. They'll just Google it. Here's what it is. No, what do you
What's your opinion? What's your
what
thoughts?
can you do about it? You know nothing and you care nothing. That's another thing. They don't care.
No.
They don't care about anything.
Mm-mm.
Except
Well, that daggone phone.
they can't get 2 feet from it. It's almost like they start spasming. They got to get back to their phone. They can't leave it lay.
Oh, dude, I've rode with people and got all the way to daggone on the other side of Nashville, about 45 minutes away, and they turn around and we have to flip and come back to the house to get their daggone phone.
Yep, can't live without it.
No.
Yep.
I'm like, this is the most ridiculous thing I ever seen in my life.
And you know what? In the earlier days, 80s and 90s, before the cell phones really came out, 70s, 80s, 90s, it was never an inconvenience to get a hold of the people I wanted to get a hold of and plan with those people. It just never seemed inconvenient. That, I wish I could instantly talk to them, And then what did that go to? The answering machines, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember y'all's first answering machine you ever got? I remember we got ours.
Mm-hmm.
And why did we have to do that? Why did we do that? We were told you're missing important stuff. We didn't know we were missing important things. We were just told we were. And we were told we need this. We're going to make things better. And it went from there. Then the beeper. Don't miss anything. Here, this is your mobile answering machine. You'll always be available. You'll never miss anything.
Mhm.
Well, who was the first one to go? I'm tired of this. I'm missing too much.
Mhm.
I'm missing too much. I
Mhm.
never had that sense that I was missing anything.
Right.
Everything just seemed to work when it worked and the way I wanted it.
Right.
You know, it was never a sweat that I called and they didn't answer.
Right.
And now they text again. Hello.
Right.
Hello.
Right.
What are you doing? Where are you? What's
Right.
up? I called. You didn't answer. Okay. I'll call back.
I have literally thrown so many phones. I have lost so many phones because of that right there. You're going to continue to aggravate the pee out of me when I am busy now?
Blowing you up.
No, no more phone. Eliminate the
time
problem.
before you could be blown up. Remember
What?
that? Remember the time before you could be blown up?
Yeah. Oh, I do. And it was so peaceful and calm, and you could get your stuff done. You didn't have to worry about nobody else's stuff or what they got going on. Nothing.
Right.
Oh, wonderful. Oh, I have that now because I refuse.
Hey, we're almost on 2 hours, girl.
No, I know. I missed you so much, Tommy. My phone flipping jacked up. I want to update the daggum thing. So, you know, the one that I get my YouTube and stuff on. So, because I want to update it, my YouTube app doesn't work on my phone anymore. So the only time I never get on this thing. But I got up early this morning just to try to catch you.
I knew you did. That's why I put up the deal 30 minutes before I even came on.
Oh, you're so
you knew I was coming if you got up and looked. I put it on early as soon as I woke up. I put it out there that I was coming on. I knew you were going to be around today.
Oh, you're so awesome.
I did. I felt it. I knew you were.
You knew the Holy Spirit within you.
I know. Hey, like mine's.
That's right. And then Eric, I like I was gonna say I like all the stuff Eric was saying. He's on top of stuff.
Oh yeah, Eric's a good guy.
Yeah.
That is so true. All that.
Yeah.
All that. Yeah, Eric. Let's put this last one up. Good to see you, brother.
Peace be with you. Oh, shalom.
All right, love you, Ashley. Take care.
Shalom.
Love you, everybody. Good discernment, good vibrations. Y'all take care.